together, but I loved it. I
Mm,
loved them together. And that's what I was thinking when I saw this scene is, you know, we're really seeing Michonne kind of grow into, you know, this kind and nurturing the mom that she becomes,
yeah.
not just to CJ and Judith, but also to Carl.
Wait, who's CJ? You mean
CJ? Is it
RJ?
CJ? RJ.
RJ.
Carl Jr.
That would be a twist. All right, what else?
Um, I
Anything else?
thought that it ends on such a hopeful, peaceful
I
note
know.
as they arrive to Terminus. We have a happy, pretty song. It's called Be Not So Fearful by A.C. Newman. It is really a nice song.
Hmm.
And all the props are there. Like there's the gates open, it's got a nice peaceful sign, put your arms down,
Plants.
come on in. Right, there's sunflowers,
Hmm.
vegetable gardens, market umbrellas with a barbecue grill, somebody cooking. What could go wrong?
Yeah. And it made me think about, I try to think about these things as a writer, even though I'm not a writer, and as a creator. And I just think it would be so interesting. And it's impressive to me that you can have an understanding of where your audience is emotionally, as in hopeful right now, while knowing that there's horrors awaiting, but you have to embody that hopefulness right now. You
Yeah.
can't hint at well, they do kind of hint at it because they see Mary cooking meat. I'm like, that's last week's guest. And
Mm-hmm.
if you read the comics, you knew there was a cannibal storyline somewhere around this time, but it was presented a lot differently. I think it was just a group that encountered them or something, but there was no terminus. There were no signs on tracks urging people to go there. So I think we were suspicious, but still hopeful. But anyway, she goes, hi, I'm Mary. Looks like you've been on the road a while. You're looking mighty tasty. I mean, tired. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But she does say, let's get you settled and we'll make you a plate. And I'm like, get it? We'll make you a plate. I think that
Uh-huh.
was on purpose, right?
Yeah, and in the next episode, there's a bunch of plays on words that are similar to
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
I know Cassie would hate it that I made a joke about that.
You should make 10.
She kept giving me dirty looks during the Society of the Snow whenever I'd make a cannibal joke. She'd be like, no. So
I think it's because it's nonfiction versus fiction.
yeah,
Like she's
okay,
a purist in
that makes
every shape
sense.
of the
Yeah,
word, you know.
she
Um,
probably has a point. So anyway, I thought that was yeah. I can't remember in the moment. I think you got to. I think I was suspicious because nothing ever goes right.
oh, I was
But
definitely suspicious.
yeah.
Yeah. But like you didn't know. Like maybe this was going to be a big group, especially for me who hadn't read the comics and didn't
Hmm.
have any spoilers. Maybe this is going to be the new group they join up with. You just didn't know what was going
Yeah.
to happen.
Or
It
maybe, yeah,
certainly
how
wasn't
bad
what
is
you
it going to be? Like,
expected,
of
right?
course, it's not going to be just super 100% easy, but I, I, I would presume people who hadn't read the comic didn't know that they would be immediately captured and put on the menu for the
Oh
next
no,
day.
it was shocking. Like you figured they were going to tease this out for a bunch of
Mhm.
episodes and, you know, boom.
The next episode is one of my very favorites, the
Yeah, the
finale.
next two, probably my
Yeah.
favorite episodes in the whole shebang.
Yep.
A little trivia point was the umbrella behind Mary upon her introduction and the governor in Martinez camp are the same umbrella.
Oh, so that means that she found somebody from there, maybe?
I think it's more of just an Easter egg.
Prop. Use the
Hmm.
same prop. All right. I don't have any more points. Shall we get into notes?
Yeah. I loved when one of the claimers said about Daryl, looks like that Robin Hood cat went out on his own. I thought that was really funny.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Why is he called Robin Hood?
I don't know why they called him Robin Hood. I just
Because he
thought it
has
was
an
really
arrow. That's why. Because he
well,
has a crossbow,
yeah,
I
but
guess.
like, you
That's
know,
it.
Robin Hood was the good guy,
Yeah.
stole from the bad to give to the good.
There must have been some line about that. I feel like there
But this was
was.
when they woke up
Yeah, I
and he
know.
was
No, I
gone
mean
out
before
hunting
though,
the
where
rabbit.
like
Yeah.
Daryl took something and gave it to somebody else or something. I can't
I
remember.
don't know, but I thought that was really funny. I hate that Maggie burned her picture. I hated it
I
then, and
know.
I hate it
So
even more now.
stupid.
I know.
She said, "You'll never need a picture of me again," and that's romantic and all, but pictures are nice to help you remember how things were or whatever. It's also
Especially in
tempting
the
fate.
fucking
Yeah,
zombie
there aren't many
apocalypse.
pictures left. There's not a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yep. Daryl sees the big cat wrapper. Do you think he suspected it all? It just seemed to be something like that they valued and maybe had a bunch of.
The what?
So Daryl sees the candy bar wrapper on the railroad
Oh,
tracks and he steps over it and makes a point to focus on it. And I was just
right.
wondering, like, do you think he thought maybe Rick was ahead?
I wasn't thinking that for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point he's kind of given up that they're still alive.
You I just didn't know. Like it wasn't
Yeah. Mm.
clear.
No,
Mm,
they did make a point. I think
mm-hmm.
maybe that was more just so we would know that they were behind him. They were right behind him or something.
Sure.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. I think this is the first time we learned for sure that Tara's sister Lily died at the prison because she said she saw the zombies pounce on her. I don't know if we'd known that before. We didn't see it.
It's been a while since I've watched that one. I don't remember. I thought it was obvious that she had died.
I don't think it was. I think we were like, what happened to her? And then
Oh. Hmm.
they said this, but I'm not sure. Um, under the claiming rules, Joe the claimer, what if you just say, I claim everything everywhere? Then does that take care of it? That's when you got to start making like
Dibs times
sub rules.
infinity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's when you need amendments to the Constitution. Greg Nicotero directed this one, and it was written by Nicole Beatty and Seth Hoffman. Seth Hoffman is taking over as showrunner for Dead City next season. They kicked out the guy and brought in Seth Hoffman.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. I rewatched season 1, and when I ended it, I was like, yeah, I'm really mad at this.
I know. Yeah, I thought season 2 was okay. I don't know. It was not as good as this show, not even close.
The ending made me so angry.
Yeah. I guess I kind of, going into season 2, I'm like, okay, they're saying that Negan was just pretending when he was being a bad guy. So that's the premise now. But I don't know. It's kind of boring now with him.
Being a good guy.
Yeah, it is.
There's shows that I watch that like I feel like I lower my expectations and just watch it, and I'm still watching it, and I don't watch
Yeah.
everything, so it's like, and just like that, I feel like my expectations are real low, but I still watch it every
The
week.
Sex and the City sequel series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Dead City, I first off, again, Ben and Alex did a great job covering that together. They had a really good vibe. I feel like they might have made it more worthwhile for people to watch. And for me, like I compare, like, was it as bad as Fear the Walking Dead? No, it was better than Fear the Walking Dead.
That's a low bar.
That's
there.
a low bar. Yeah, it was all right. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
All right. Only on The Walking Dead would it be that if you heard someone say, let's get you settled and we'll make you a plate, that you should run away as fast as you can.
That was one of mine. Only on The Walking Dead could you sleep on railroad tracks with zero worries of a train coming.
That's true.
Watch out for the beer balloons, though.
Yeah, like when Eugene stopped the van right in the middle of the tracks. Just for a split second, I was like, oh, don't stop there. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's okay.
And I think it was Rosita who was sleeping on them, which, like, of all the places, right. No. Only on The Walking Dead would anyone fight over getting the head or the ass of a dead rabbit. I think I'd pick the ass, right?
Oh, yeah, hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
It's probably, yeah, the
I don't
hindquarters
want the
have more
head.
meat on it.
Have you ever had rabbit?
The ears are quite good. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think I might have. No.
I have.
Gosh,
I've
I
had
might
a whole
have.
rabbit, and so I went to this Australian wine dinner. I was before I even had kids, I think. And they served, and I was quite tipsy at the time because this was like the third course. And they served this rabbit, and it was like shaped like a rabbit. It freaked me out a little bit, but I did eat
Yeah.
it, and it was really good.
I think I might have had some a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's part of me that's like, oh, rabbits are cute. You shouldn't eat rabbits. And then there's another part of me that's like, if you really got to know a cow, you'd probably love it just as much as your cat, you know?
I know. That's the weird thing. Like it's taboo to eat horses and dogs, but
Yeah,
not taboo to eat cows and chickens
right.
because they're not as cute and cuddly and furry and fuzzy and
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
the moral is just eat whatever you want. No.
Just eat that dog.
Threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Deadcast news update.
Okay. So, how much news is there? Not a lot, but there's a couple things. You can now play as Rick, Michonne, or Daryl in the multiplayer survival horror game Dead by Daylight, which is a fun game where there's like survivors trying to escape from a killer. And you all, you play online together. So some people in our Patreon group play regularly. And once I get back from this 2-week trip, to maybe more like 3 weeks, I'm going to do a game night where anyone who wants to join can join in. So let me know if you are a Dead by Daylight player and you want to join in, or if you're interested in learning.
I guess they had to get permission to do that or pay sponsorship to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would think it would have been pretty pricey too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that game is all about. They have characters from different horror franchises. Halloween, Ash vs. Evil Dead,
Jason.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That's probably an expensive one. I don't think they have Jason because he has his own game, so they wouldn't license to him.
I thought they had Jason.
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But anyway, now they have, I think they have, when they bring in a new set of characters or whatever, they have a new environment too. So I think there's a Walking Dead environment. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's Terminus. Who knows? Anyway, I'm looking forward to trying that out. Yeah, it really is fun. It's social. Next thing, The Last of Us had a bunch of Emmy nominations. This came out a couple weeks ago, but I just now getting around to mentioning it. Outstanding drama. Pedro Pascal for lead actor, Bella Ramsey for lead actress. I don't know how Bella Ramsey feels about being identified that way, but that's what they did. Guest actor for Joe Pantoliano, who played Eugene, and Jeffrey Wright, who played Isaac. Guest actress for Caitlin Dever, who played Abby, and Catherine O'Hara, who played Gail. And they had a bunch more for casting, makeup, picture, sound editing, visual effects, 17 total nominations. Pretty good.
I would think they would have had to check with her first, or they would not have to, but they would have. I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm sure that they're happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Other Podcastica shows that shows that Podcastica covers that got nominations. The White Lotus season 3 got 23, including outstanding drama. Handmaid's Tale only got 1 nomination.
It's crazy.
Outstanding guest actress. Can you guess who?
Guest actress. I can't.
Cherry Jones as
Who
Holly,
plays
June's mom.
Oh.
Holly. She's good.
Oh my, she's great.
Yeah.
I
really
just think they should get everything.
Andor got 14 nominations, including outstanding drama. I was happy to see that. The Bear got 9, including best comedy series, which is dumb because it's not a comedy. Yellow Jackets snubbed. Nothing. And we don't cover Severance, but they got a whole bunch, and I feel like we may still eventually cover that at some point, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to Listener Moans, Groans, and Grunts.
Okay, Dobolino Bob Grippy says, if I was with the claimers, I'd probably be booted and or killed in no time. I'd be telling claimed and pointing and claimed and pointing and claimed and pointing and so forth, all in the span of 2 seconds. Rick curling into the guy's chest vertically for trying to rape Carl. I think this is from next week.
Oh, yeah. It's all right. Just go ahead.
In my opinion, this is Rick's most brutal kill in the whole series, and Rick knows it's psycho because he sits alone and debriefs with Daryl afterwards. I thought it would have been hilarious if when Glenn and Tara were rescued by Maggie and company with machine guns, they accidentally gunned down Glenn. Oh my God, Maggie, you gunned down Glenn. And Maggie replies, oops, oh well. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. You should write for comedy. Oh boy. Josie Bowen Echtel says it was so good to see Rick again. I loved watching him just smile at Michonne and Carl. It really had felt so long since we've seen him on our screen. I know. I mean, it was kind of too bad that season 4 got broken up by The Last of Us and then Dead City, because it would have been nice to just get all this all at once. But oh well, we can't control when these things come up. But anyway, she goes on. This is one of those comforting episodes that warms my heart because we get to see our favorites interacting with each other. Well, minus Daryl. You'll get back with your people soon, buddy. I felt a thrill when Maggie and Glenn reunited, especially after watching Maggie grieve so hard after all these years in Dead City. I always appreciate moments with Abraham, and I feel like he's pretty underappreciated, especially with his death being overshadowed. I enjoyed seeing him connect with Tara. I forgot he can have tender moments like that. Yeah, he's got these weird tender moments, like the whole Bisquick thing. Connecting in these weird ways. But he does. Knowing that Eugene has no earthly idea of the fix to this shit is frustrating, but I do enjoy watching his expressions in retrospect, little guilty details that you don't pick up on your first watch. Savoring these episodes individually makes me further realize how much I love this show. Me too. And it really forces me to find the beauty in each character, scene, and storyline, flaws and all. Geeking out over The Walking Dead is my favorite thing, and I'm just continuously thrilled to have this space. Thank you for all you do, Jason and Lucy. Well, I'm glad you guys are appreciating it, because when we started, we thought, maybe we'll kind of zip through, do like 4 at a time. But I feel like, for one thing, it's not in my DNA to do that. But also, yeah, it's been really great to just dig in and unpack everything.
Yeah, you're getting a ton of feedback too.
I know. It's good to have an engaged audience. It's great.
I've really enjoyed deep diving into a few of these. These are great.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I am curious once we get to season 7 and 8 whether we might get tired of it and want to start doing 2 at a time or something. But but I don't know. I suspect we'll find a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be a while.
It will.
Too.
It might be like a couple of years or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll still be doing it.
Billy Thompson says, hello, hope you guys are well. This is the episode I always think of when thinking back to peak Walking Dead, specifically Rick, Carl, and Michonne on the track scene. I just love it. It's immortalized in my memory for this show. I couldn't even tell you why, really. It's just a great scene, but there are a lot of great scenes in the series. This one just sticks in my head.
Same with me, Billy. Same thing.
Yeah, I agree. Do you guys have any specific Walking Dead scenes, moments that really stick in your head more than others?
Wait, let's stop to think about that. The first thing that popped in my head was Rick and Shane out in that misty field.
When Rick shoots him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stabs him and then later shoots him.
For me, also, when Rick slits Negan's throat, that's a huge scene in my head.
When they're all at the trough, the next episode.
Gosh, that whole episode.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if the one that sticks out in the most people's head is Sophia coming out of the barn. That whole moment.
Sophia coming out of the barn. Mm-hmm. Trying to think about later seasons. Um, for some reason,
There's a lot.
the scene where Carol machine guns the saviors. I love that one.
The pikes on the heads on
Oh,
pikes
that's
stands out.
awful. Yeah, I don't want to think about
And
that.
one that, yeah, people probably wouldn't think of, but I do, is Eugene talking on the radio to Stephanie, and then they play some, he's singing a song that's some like heavy metal song, but he's doing a slow version of it. And that really got me.
Yeah, so many.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is so quiet. It really gives it an apocalyptic vibe. I know we all get sick of the setting eventually, but during this time in seasons 4 to 5, I'm loving the quiet countryside. Massive comic book feels this episode. Just seeing the gang meet up in the tunnel and the headlights behind is a great shot while shooting Zeds, although I can't remember if that was specifically taken straight from the comics. Also, the dynamic of Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. The way Abraham has completely given himself to Eugene and the dialogue between them reflects this. It all feels like something you'd read in a comic book, and I love it. I've always wondered what would happen to Daryl if the Claimers didn't find Rick. I do think he would fall back into the same habits he had with Meryl. To start to see this slowly happening when he doesn't cover Len, I think the guy's name is, then proceeds to abide by the rules which he was trying to push back against. What do you guys think? That's a good point, because I just watched that scene where he goes to cover him and then just doesn't. I mean, to be fair, the guy was trying to set him up for death, to be killed.
Wait, I'm lost.
Do you know what scene he's talking about? It's at the very end where the Claimers are leaving the place that they were staying at, and Len's like just dumped outside dead.
Oh.
And then Daryl takes a sheet and he's like gonna get ready to cover
I see.
him.
Okay.
But then at the last minute, he just kind of thinks about it and pauses, and then he just drops the sheet and leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is saying. Like, I is that something about, no, I'm not the kind of person that honors the dead anymore, or is it like, you were an asshole, you don't deserve this? You know?
But I think he's right on. Yeah. I think that was kind of showing, like, I ultimately think Daryl wouldn't have, but I do think that's what they were showing, is that he was getting in that headspace again.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that, but yeah, I'd like to think that eventually he would have been like, no, this is not for me.
Well, and he hadn't seen
what they were
really were
capable of.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Actually, you're right. Like, once they started going around trying to rape kids, then he'd be like,
I don't think Daryl was going to hang around for that.
No way.
Yeah.
I was thinking too, what a scene with Rosita that stands out the most is on the porch in Alexandria, killing a shit ton of Zeds while there's a lightning storm happening. Do you remember that? It was so good.
Yes. She has such great scenes in the last few seasons.
Yeah, she just becomes such a cool character. And then another one is with Dante and Sadiq, when he finds out that he's a traitor. That was
that
so
lives
good.
in my memory. That whole arc and scene.
Yes, like there's
that was great.
Such good stuff in the last few seasons, and some people just go, it wasn't as good then. I'm like, come
all of
on.
my family stopped watching around 7.
Oh, I see. There's some
and they're
people,
the ones who got me into it. I was not into this.
There's some people in the rewatch following along with us, I think, who never did get to those. So maybe if they stick around, they'll experience it for the first time. That'd be cool. Okay. Amber Lovo says, so I love this episode starts with, no one can say for certain this isn't what killed the dinosaurs. And I laugh out loud every single time. Eugene is an interesting character. He's pretty useless, but at heart, he's a good person. Making Abraham and Rosita go back and save Glenn and Tara was beautiful. I know his brain of information makes him super valuable, but he's also a huge liability. He does seem to have a solid moral code, though. I don't know if I'd say solid. He's got a good heart, but he also joins the Saviors at one point, you know? So another great human that's not just one-sided. Every scene with the Claimers was terrible, and yes, I know it gets worse. Len makes my skin crawl. I couldn't believe Daryl was able to manage his negative reactions and keep us cool. I was confused at why he didn't cook that rabbit. Wouldn't it travel better cooked, not raw? I was kind of wondering that too. Like, how long are you going to keep that thing? I know they didn't have much time, but for some reason that bothered me so much. Daryl saying there ain't no us was super impactful. Probably one of my more favorite quotes in this episode. I was intrigued by his moral dilemma around covering up Len's body. This is another time where I felt Beth's influence a little. I was happy to see Carl and Michelle. What a contrast to go from hanging out with Beth for a few days and then joining the Claimers.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Carl and Michonne laughing and joking. They were really sweet. The rescue scene in the tunnel was too convenient. Obviously, they had to get saved, but it felt a little too perfect. Speaking of perfect, Terminus. Ugh, can you imagine walking into that and having a moment where you actually want to hope that it'll all be okay? That dare to hope feeling, then getting smashed into smithereens. Brutal. But more on that next episode. And once again, that final song, Be Not Fearful by AC Newman, was absolutely perfect. Thanks, everyone. Don't get bit. Thanks, Amber. That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Here is a live Steve.
Hello, the cast of us. This is Steve, and I'm just actually finishing up watching The Grove before I live Steve, the next one, Us. But there's one thing that caught me on this rewatch, and I'm glad I didn't live Steve it, because I don't know if I could have made it through. But they never even mention Rick and Carl when they're considering staying at the house. And that just bugs me. Eugene talking about undead dinosaurs. Whew. Oh, and Tara and Abraham talking, and there's the dead walker in the tracks from last episode. Abraham talking about Rosita's chest when he recognizes that Tara was looking down her shirt. And Glenn finds the first note written to him from Maggie. Aw. And the friendship between Carl and Michonne grows. Aw. Ew, this guy, one of the little ones, that's just And Daryl is not learning the Claimers. He doesn't like it. Ooh, Claimer Joe has rules. Tired is slow, slow is dead. Kind of like slow is smooth, smooth is fast. They're very military, Abraham. Claimer Joe's philosophy on life. Outdoor cat, indoor cat, follow the rules. Hey, I just realized Glenn's carrying the orange backpack. Oh, okay, I don't understand the logic here. How do you know Maggie went through? I guess because she left a note there at the edge of the tunnel, but that doesn't make sense. And Abraham's likes to fight guy. Were you, Eugene, were aware of that Tara likes girls, really? Oh, staying true to his word, Daryl doesn't claim anything. Everybody else, though, claimed. I'm going to kick your bag out of the way, Daryl, and claim. I'm glad that wasn't the title of the episode, because there'd be mics dropping everywhere. Haven't heard anybody say us yet, though. Have they? I don't know. This just seems like an impossible task to crawl over this walker mass. I didn't mean to rhyme there. Ooh, and now they have a horde. Meanwhile, back on the road, Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene are still looking for a ride. Eugene's dialogue and manner of speaking is just out there, man. But I always liked it. If you've made 3 left turns, isn't that a circle? Wait, they did make a circle. Are they on the other side of the tunnel? Oh, Claimer Joe's got rules, and creepy guy is getting the consequences for his actions. Oh, did creepy guy have a name? Meanwhile, back in the tunnel,
Len.
Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene. Wait, no, it's not. Who's somebody to the rescue? Oh, it's Maggie. I forgot. They were the ones that saved him in the tunnel.
Me too.
And Glenn doesn't rat Tara out. I'm getting choked up here. Part of our group is all back together. All right, so now we're about to start the side quest to Terminus and maybe whatever's there. They don't know it's there. Oh, Glenn's a persuasive guy, and here's the Polaroid. Oh, I forgot, and they burn it. What stupid reason. I mean, I get it. It's romantic and all, but it's your last picture, dude. Ooh, and now Daryl learns who they're tracking, but he doesn't know that it's Rick and Michonne and Carl yet. And Daryl claims a strawberry. And Glenn's group reaches Terminus, and they just walk right in. Ooh, welcome to Terminus. What's on that plate, Mary?
He's probably right. It was strawberry. I bet you, I don't know for sure, but I bet you that's more offensive than burning the photo to older people than younger people. Although younger people don't have much experience with photos, but I just mean like when you're younger, you don't realize that you're going to appreciate having photos of yourself younger yet.
I actually think younger people like put big photos of their family up more than we did, my age did. I
Yeah, okay.
I value photographs. Like So
Yeah, I do too.
it hurt me to see it burned.
Yeah, it's like burning a book or something.
Yeah.
He said in the Grove they never mentioned Rick and Carl, but I think, well, they might just think they're all dead. But I guess you're right. They might hope that they're not.
I mean, you have no real evidence that you're going to find them.
Mm.
I mean, you have this idea, which conveniently worked out for everybody, right? That they were all going in the same direction.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic. I
No.
think it was reasonable to think, hey, we're separated with no way to get in touch with them, and we've got to move on.
I guess so. Yeah, that was before. Those are my old friends. He mentioned the dead walker in the tracks. I guess that's the one that Lizzie was feeding. I didn't even notice that. And I mean, also last episode we saw the smoke from when Beth and Daryl were burning that cabin or whatever from the previous episode. So they put in a lot of little things. Yeah. And I bet you we missed some of them. I should have made a point to try to pinpoint all that, but it's kind of cool that they were tying them all together like that.
Like we saw the candy bar wrapper in this one. So, like they're probably just ahead of you.
They should have been leaving more overt signs like Maggie did, but
right. If you really thought that was the point, then yes, you should have left signs or something.
Okay, let's move on.
All right. Matt King says, finally, we see the different groups in the same episode. Great to see Glenn reacting to the Terminus message from Maggie. Glenn and Tara struggling through the tunnel, and as the end looked nigh, Maggie and friends turn up and blast the zombies into oblivion. Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene return, and Eugene already looking to delay his arrival to Washington. I wonder why. Eugene's car seat smashing into Abraham's sleeping face was a highlight. Abraham always feels like one of the more underrated characters in The Walking Dead, but he steals almost every scene he's in. And while Glenn was a massive loss after Negan's batting practice, losing Abraham was just as heavy a loss. Really nice to see Carl, Rick, and Michonne having fun walking on the rails, and Rick smiling, a rarity in this show. I wonder across all 11 seasons how many minutes of screen time we see Rick smiling or laughing. I suspect it won't be many. Daryl learns about the claimed rules and looking very peed off. There's nothing sadder than an outdoor cat that thinks it's an indoor cat. Wise words from the claimers leader, who then backed Daryl over the rabbit's head and killed the other guy. Finally, the large group of Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, Tara, Sasha, Bob, Maggie, and Glenn arrived and meet Mary, who ends the episode with "Welcome to Terminus," and happiness is just around the corner, surely.
All right. Thanks, Matt. All right. One more written message from Dina says, "Hi, Jason and Lucy, and maybe a guest." Close. Here's some random babble about us for you. Daryl is teeter-tottering between worlds. White lightning with Joe, destruction, or moonshine with Beth, illumination. Joe's guys like us, or Beth's last man standing. Asshole versus journeyman. Corruption versus nobility. Yep, I like that. Beth's model of decency prompts him to almost cover the corpse of his enemy. Because he doesn't, is that indicative that he's decided to be one of the assholes, not worthy of a better life? Or is it as simple as, fuck it, that guy was a dick? My gut says the latter, because that guy really was a dick. Glenn, his carefully chosen words and actions raise Tara's self-esteem and ensure she knows she's valued as one of us. Carl and Michonne, an authentic, playful moment that never fails to both make me smile and crave a lion bar. Carl's death scene is so long and boring that I fast forward through it, except for that minute when he says goodbye to Michonne. You're my best friend. Those words bring me right back to this instant on the tracks. And Eugene, in the next episode or so, he will say that everything he did was to delay getting to DC. When he turns to watch Glenn and Tara leave, his mind could very well be devising his next delay tactic. There are perfect tools for this. Eugene's story about himself is that he's a smart liar, a survivor, and a coward. He tells Rosita that he helped Glenn and Tara because he needs to live with himself. Since he claims everything he says or does is to delay DC, I must assume he's lying to Rosita here, or he thinks he's lying. Eugene does not know himself or is too scared to believe that he's anything more than a smart liar, a survivor, and a coward. He will discover by the end of the series that he is, yes, a coward, smart, a survivor, and a liar, but he's also loyal and brave and loving and honest. Eugene used to annoy me. Now he's one of my favorite characters. Abraham used to make me laugh. Now I can't stand him. A good death, though. Gotta respect a man who looks death in the eye and tells it to suck his nuts. I still wouldn't share my chocolate bar with him. Yeah, we kind of talked about that with Eugene, and man, I'm not sure now. I want to think that there was at least some sincerity in going back to save them, came from a place of wanting to do something good, but you could be right. It could just purely be a delay tactic.
When I think of Eugene, I don't think of him until like the last season or 2 as being very altruistic and giving.
Yeah.
It's not that I think he's a bad guy. I think he's just kind of fearful and selfish.
Wasn't there some scene where he drove up in a van that was blasting music to try to help people around the time of Noah? I think he tried.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Okay, one more call, and it's from Renee.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Lucy. What's good, boo? Baby.
Hey, Renee.
I remember when this episode aired, I thought I was going to lose my freaking mind. Glenn and Tara stuck in that dark Walkerfield tunnel. My nerves was shot. And then Daryl was off somewhere with those wild-ass claimers. I was on the edge the entire time. But, baby, when the gang showed up with the widow in the front and guns a-blazing, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, yes, this is my type of reunion. Even though she's not the widow yet, but she's still guns a-blazing. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Those dirty, trifling ass claimers disgust me. I know the writers want to show how folks can revert to what they know when they're in survival mode, but I don't believe that Daryl would have just slipped back into that mess. I don't like it. And that one claimer, the one who clearly had pedophile vibes, the way he talked about Beth made my skin crawl. When he said she must have been a good one, was it one of the little ones? And then called Beth a bitch. Nah, the nasty, that ain't it. That word right there is up there with the N word for me. I detest it. Call me a B, and I promise you we got a problem. Now, Daryl, he should have known that is not his tribe. I can understand him sticking by Merle because that was his brother, but those dirty, unwashed, feral claimers, hell to the no. Daryl, you should have ran as fast as you can. You should have been like the damn gingerbread man, okay? And Joe, when he asked Daryl, we're not good enough for you, are we? Sir, nope, you're not. I'll answer that for him. And then he said, we don't have to be brothers in arms. Actually, you do. That's what a real community looks like. That is how tribes roll. It's like, Daryl, why, Daryl, why? Now, contrast that with Glenn, Tara, Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene. You could tell off the top that even though they just met, they had each other's back. That is what makes a tribe. I mean, Glenn even gave Eugene his ride gear because you can tell that man couldn't fight off a damn fly. Now, let me talk about the Grimes family, okay? Because some people are still acting brand new. If, for whatever reason, they haven't figured it out by now that Rick, Michonne, and Carl are destined to be a family, they just being willfully blind at this point. Okay? But let's be real. A lot of folks didn't think Rick and Michonne were going to go there because Rick is white and Michonne is a dark-skinned black woman with Afrocentric features. But my question is, why not? In the ZA, zombies don't care about race, gender, or sexuality, so why the hell should we? And what man in his right mind wouldn't be drawn to a woman who protects and cares for his children the way that Michonne protect and care for Carl and Judas? Come on now. And Rick and Michonne's chemistry is off the charts and not in no brother-sister type of way. People chose and choose not to see it, and that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. As for me, I appreciate the fact that they cast Michonne as a darker-skinned black woman with Afrocentric features and that has a body that's body yada, 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 yada. Because representation matters, and they make a stunning couple. They make a beautiful couple. Now, people try to say that Michonne is too hard or too cold, but if you watch the show, really watch the show, you can see that lady is kind, nurturing, and fun as hell at times, just like Rick Grimes. I mean, both of them have morals, integrity. They love their family. They'll do anything for you. I mean, gangster recognize gangster. Come on now. They make a beautiful couple. And Glenn and Maggie, I love them. They're adorable. I'm sorry. They fell in love fast and hard. And I was okay with that. But they don't and do not get the same type of hate that Rashawn get. And they are an interracial couple. And people always say that Rashawn, their relationship seems forced. How? It's a slow burn. But Glenn and Maggie relationship is not forced. They met each other today, slept together the next day, and was in love the day after that. Come on now. Seriously. Let's not act crazy. And it's like, Lord, our people cannot catch a break. Now we got to deal with the cannibals. Our group just cannot catch a break. When I tell you I am tired for them. Anywho, you already know Rick Grimes is my TV husband. My real husband is the love of my life. But Rick, that's my on-screen boo forever and always. And I'm so happy that he's back on my screen. Alrighty, peace and love. Bye.
As far as Rick and Michonne goes, I think, I'm in a little bubble because I feel like I don't ever remember anyone listening to this podcast ever saying they didn't like them as a couple. Maybe one or two, but it's out. There's
not on this podcast.
That's what I mean.
When they first got together, it was a lot of public.
And Renee has said that there's a lot like on Reddit and stuff in different groups, Facebook, but I don't come into contact with any of it. I only hear positivity about it.
I mean, I liked it. I think it was mixed in the beginning.
I wanted them to get together because I thought like the last episode we saw them in when they were staying in that house for a little while, it just seemed so domestic. And there's been like on this rewatch, I've noticed chemistry between them from the start, even when they're seemingly at odds with each other, there's heat there. And so, man, you're right, Renee. It seems like it seems like a big, long, slow burn, especially compared to Glenn and Maggie, who, like you said, they slept together the first day and were in love the second day. That was awesome. But anyway, I thought the sex scene was awkward and weird, but I still love them together. And I know nobody agrees with me on that, so that's fine. But anyway, I think they made a great couple after and before that too. So I'm all pro them together. Yeah. And the ones who live was really good.
They were fire hot in the ones that live. They were great.
Like Jay